Are the Canucks waving the white flag? Let's talk about it. Welcome back, motherfuckers. It is time for the Pucked Up Podcast. I am your host this week, D-Bag. I am joined, as always, by Danger Water, Chris, and Goss Small. We are so happy that you are joining us once again for everything NHL and PWHL related as we talk through the biggest news and topics that have hit the wire this week. We have some very interesting information coming out. There was a big trade that happened. So that is going to be talked about a little bit later in the show. But for now, Chris, can you tell us what our trivia question of the week is going to be?
I absolutely can. I will try to not cough severely during the entire podcast. So if I do,
mild coughing only.
I'm so sorry. There is a cool stat. There is a player who is the only one in NHL history to score 5 goals in 5 different ways in one game. A full strength goal, power play goal, shorthanded, and a penalty shot, and an empty netter in one game. Can you tell me that player? Do we want do we want to do a multiple choice?
Maul says yes.
Yeah? All right. So your first choice, Wayne Gretzky, Mario Lemieux, Steve Yzerman, Brett Hull.
Okay.
So that answers my question.
It wasn't Ovechkin.
No, it is not Ovechkin. Yeah. No, clearly not. All right, y'all. Well, that is the question. Be sure to give that a noodle as we go through the episode. At the end of the episode, as always, we will tell you what the answer is. Do not use Google. You can phone a friend, however. We will allow that because there's no way for us to know.
See you, motherfucker.
Hey, phoning a friend is allowed in Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, so it can be allowed here, too.
I'm okay with phoning a friend, but Google?
Yeah.
No. If you use Google, you're automatically out.
We'll know if you use Google.
Yeah, we won't know if you phone a friend, but Google, absolutely.
Yeah.
That's where we draw the line. All right. Well, with that, let's get into some information on what is happening in the world of the PWHL. So the big news to start with, which I was not expecting to see coming quite this soon, is that they have announced a partnership with The Realist, an industry leader in next-gen authentication for sports and entertainment memorabilia, and they have created the first ever witness-based, fully authenticated collection of game-used and player-sourced PWHL hockey jerseys, equipment, and one-of-a-kind artifacts. So this collection showcases their rapidly growing legacy and features game-used equipment, signed items, limited edition pieces, and exclusive artifacts, all sourced directly from PWHL teams and players from the league's first 2 historic seasons. So some of the things that are currently being featured is all-time leading scorer in Montreal Victoire captain Marie-Philippe Poulin's 2025 PWHL Playoffs game-worn jersey, MVP finalist in Seattle Torrent captain Hillary Knight's game-used stick and game-worn jersey from her 2024-2025 season with the Boston Fleet, the PWHL Defender of the Year Renata Fast game-used Toronto Scepter stick, the 2025 PWHL Draft Puck signed by Nicole Gosling, immediately following her first-round selection by the Montreal Victoire, and All-Stars forward and Torrent alternate captain Alex Carpenter's game-used stick, and then Minnesota Frost defenders Natalie Buchbinder's game-worn helmet. So it's all up right now. If you go to therealist.com/PWHL, you will find all of the available things for purchase, should you wish to do that. Should you have collectibles kind of money? I do not. But if you do, take a picture and let us know that you were put onto it by us.
I'd love to have collectible money.
I don't have collectible money. I wish I had collectible money.
Me too.
But these things are, in general, collectibles are expensive.
Expensive, yeah.
Currently, the current bid as of time of recording for Poulin's game-worn Montreal Victoire jersey is $1,010, and bidding closes in 10 days. So, yikes. There's also a bunch of stuff. So every team has some things on there. Even the Torrent and the Golden Eyes have things on there. So there is something for everybody. If your team is, let's see, the Boston Fleet, for example, there is A lot, actually. There's quite a few. There's an autographed draft poster. There's a bunch of jerseys. There's several sticks. You also have their second selection card, which is kind of cool to have something from the actual draft available for purchase. So go check it out and then tell us that you bought stuff and make us super jelly. How about that? The second thing that we have to talk about with the PWHL is that they have announced the official PWHL mentorship program in development in collaboration with Strong Girls United. So it is called the PWHL Mentorship Program, a cornerstone league-wide initiative created to empower and inspire the next generation of girls in hockey. Developed in partnership with Strong Girls United and made possible with support from Kindrel, founding partner of the PWHL Mentorship Program and an official partner of the PWHL. The new initiative connects PWHL athletes directly with youth players to foster leadership, confidence, and community on and off the ice. There will be 120 youth athletes, grades 8 and 9, across all PWHL markets. Each market will welcome 15 mentees selected through an open application process, and 3 PWHL players per team will serve as mentors throughout the season. As part of the program, participants will join monthly virtual mentorship sessions led by the PWHL mentors and SGU, along with large group workshops designed to strengthen mental wellness, self-belief, and teamwork. The program will consist of an in-person experience in each market, including a game day visit, attending a closed practice, or a live mentorship workshop, providing mentees with a unique behind-the-scenes connection to the league. Mandy Gutman, Vice President of Communications and External Affairs, said that girls drop out of sports at twice the rate of boys, and hockey is no exception, with age 14 being a key point when many stop playing. That is that 8th and 9th grade age point. That's why we built the PWHL mentorship program to specifically target 8th and 9th grade girls. In partnership with Strong Girls United and with founding partner Kindrel, the program is designed to give girls role models, support, and a sense of belonging that keeps them connected to hockey. We know that when girls continue to play hockey, the impact extends beyond the rink. So if you are interested, there is sign-up information that will be posted. Please check out thepwhl.com for more information as to how you can get involved in this mentorship opportunity. I think that this is an incredible initiative for the PWHL to launch. I think that we need more women mentors just in general, but especially in sports, because it's so rare that we see women at the top of their game being praised publicly and being given an opportunity to showcase their leadership. So I think this is incredible.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's and we see it with how the NHL is starting to get involved in themselves with that sort of thing. So I'm all for it. I'm all for it for sure.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that wraps up our PWHL news. So let's head back over to all of our other topics. We have some major news coming out of New York. Chris, would you like to tell us about what they are experiencing up there in this cold weather season?
Well, the Buffalo Sabres fired their GM, which
They needed to keep warm. It's a little chilly. What
yeah.
better way than to start a fire?
Apparently, and that fire was Kevin Adams being the sacrificial lamb. It's no surprise the Minnesota, or not the Minnesota Wild. I'm sorry. There'll be a topic in a little
That's
bit.
later.
But the Buffalo Sabres have been a dumpster
Mine.
fire
I get them.
since 2010. We all know why, or at least I know why. But you know,
He was fired because he spells his name with a Y. That's
what a
the
fucking
reason.
psychopath.
At the end of the day.
What Kevin
did
in their
that?
right mind spells it with a Y? Get it together.
Change your name.
But it was announced on Monday that the Buffalo Sabres have announced Jarmo Kekalainen as their new general manager. At the press conference, Kekalainen said, "It's a great honor to be named the general manager of the Buffalo Sabres. I would like to extend my thanks to owners Terry and Kim Pagula for this opportunity. I am humbled to be the steward of this team and look forward to experiencing the passion that the Sabres fans bring to every game when they actually show up to the arena." He was named senior advisor on May 30th, beginning of the season, to help figure out that front office situation. Terry Pagula spoke at the press conference as well and said, "I have named Jarmo Kekalainen as our general manager. He will be overseeing hockey operations effective immediately. The hiring of Jarmo was the result of an extensive search process in which Jarmo stood out as our top choice for the senior advisor position. Yarmo has distinguished himself over the last 8 months, and his experience, professionalism, and drive speaks for itself. I am looking forward to him leading our organization to the next level. Well, the biggest thing here, the team has not made the playoffs since 2010. Obviously, right now, one of the worst teams in the NHL. But prior to his hiring, Kekalainen was the GM of the Columbus Blue Jackets from 2013 to 2024. During his tenure, Columbus qualified for the Stanley Cup playoffs 5 times, setting a record with 50 wins and 108 points in 2016-17. Won the franchise's first playoff series with a sweep of the then President's Trophy winners Tampa Bay Lightning in 2019. I'll tell you, at this point, they've tried everything except for the Pagulas needing to sell the team and just moving them somewhere else. But
I don't even think they need to move them somewhere else if the Pagulas just sell the team.
Maybe, let's hope. Or they move to Regina, Saskatchewan and become the Regina Chickens. Who knows?
Because, that's going to be such a better market than
I
Buffalo,
did
New
in
York.
NHL 26, and it's the funniest shit ever. But, I mean, Kekalainen has proven success. I mean, Columbus was dog shit and now are a decent team thanks to a lot of the moves that he had made. So we'll see if this can be the turning point for the Sabres and what the future is going to look like for them.
It's just interesting to note that they're like, we had an extensive search for this new GM. Meanwhile, they hadn't even announced that the GM, that Kevin had been fired until they were like fired and hired. So It's like, how extensive was it? Like, because you couldn't be that out and about with your search because you didn't want Kevin to know that he's about to get shit canned, right?
Well,
so like, were they really conducting that much of it, or were they just like, we really like this Yarmo guy? Like every time we talk to him, he's just so nice.
He's from Finland. He's got a
we give
fun
him
name.
the job.
We like this guy.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I'm wondering if that's what it is.
But I mean,
because again, how extensive could the search have been?
At what point do you fucking stop trading your valuable young talent and like
maybe they should keep trying. I don't know.
I know. Like, oh yeah, well, good thing we have JJ Peterka. Not anymore. He plays in Utah. Like, you're lucky you've locked down Owen Powers. You're lucky Rasmus Dahlin has stayed this long. You're lucky Tage Thompson has stayed this long. You've got a great goaltender in Devin Levi. Like, there's a lot of talent there. It's just they're not building a fucking program that actually makes a sense of any of this, which is the problem when they drafted Eichel. Eichel was great. That team was shit. He got the fuck out and won a Stanley Cup. Like, there's no incentive. If I'm a young player, there is zero incentive for me to stay with the Buffalo Sabres because they have been utter dog shit for the last 15 years almost. So hopefully Yarmo can turn this franchise around. They can figure it out because they've had history of success. And, you know, maybe it's time that someone in Buffalo wins something big other than the fucking lacrosse team.
Is Buffalo going to be able to do anything? Is Yarmo going to be able to come in and make the decisions he wants if the issue is the Pagulas?
Probably not. There's a reason the Bills haven't won a Super Bowl yet. So,
like that, I mean, but that's what I'm saying. Like, is this an exercise in futility? Because the real problem is not the GM. The real problem is not the head coach. The real problem is
the ownership group.
Yeah. I mean, look at I'm speaking from a fan base that has this experience. The Washington Commanders, fuck Dan Snyder.
You fuck Dan Snyder for sure.
Fuck Dan Snyder. He is the reason that our franchise was dog shit for as long as it was because he was a piss poor owner. Yeah. And the only thing that was going to change the Commanders around was getting rid of him.
Yeah.
And the first season without him, look how far we made it. You know what I mean? It was very clear. You are the issue, my guy.
Well,
you know what I mean?
And I mean, look, Anaheim is another great picture for that too, because when Disney sold the team to the Samuelelli family, they won the cup immediately after that first year. I mean, the Toronto Maple Leafs have had a very similar historical list of bad ownership that has cost the team not only Stanley Cups, but cost it of great players. and they've made
Mhm.
obviously they're in the not this season, but for the past 10 years they've been in the best situation they've been in. Um,
Mhm.
and I like it's the question to me is not if it's gonna work, it's if the Pagulas are going to allow Yarmo to actually make the moves necessary.
I got a
It's
question for you real quick.
yeah.
When was the last year that the Leafs won the Stanley Cup?
What, 1967?
6-7.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
shut the fuck
Oh,
up.
shut
You're
up.
welcome.
I'm gonna kick you. I would kick you out of this call right now if it weren't for the fact that it would fuck up the recording. I would
You are
absolutely kick
all
you from this
very
call.
welcome. So there you go. We snuck it in.
No,
There we go.
we're gonna have a vote on this later about whether or not you retain your title.
Hey, I'm just gonna keep telling myself he did it only to impress his sons. Like
That might be it, yeah. We're gonna
Like,
have
Even
all
that
the
younger
12-year-olds with
audience.
Fortnite watching
Battery
the
lost
show.
a bet somewhere.
Yeah, I don't think I need that audience coming in here.
As the youngest
honest.
member of this cast, it is my responsibility to make sure that the rest of you stay in touch with the younger generation. You are welcome.
I would rather like you have put in Skibbity Toilet than fucking 6-7.
Yeah,
mean,
but
Can we be so
NHL
honest?
players didn't really get into Skibbity Toilet, but you're seeing all of them get in with them. 6-7.
You know what?
Anywho,
Anyway.
You're
we'll
welcome,
see
by
what
the
this
way.
does for Buffalo, is really.
Well, thank you, Chris. I appreciate you telling us what's going on there. Maul, even though I'm deeply disappointed in you, I would appreciate it if you would give me an update on where we are with the Hockey Fights Cancer Initiative. I know that there's been a lot since we last poked our heads in to tell everybody what every team around the NHL is doing.
So there has been a lot. We haven't talked about what's been going on for about a month and a half now. I've kind of perused back to the article that we last went over. We are almost done the Hockey Fights cancer campaign. I mean, I say that, but it's more in terms of games left. As of time of recording, we only have 3 games left in the Hockey Fights cancer schedule. They're not in 2025. They're all in 2026. So you still have plenty of time to go check it out. January 5th, the New York Rangers host theirs. January 25th, the Chicago Blackhawks host theirs. And February 26th, which will be the final game of the Hockey Fights Cancer season, will be the Nashville Predators. Since we've had almost every single team have their Hockey Fight Cancer night, and they've done things from honor survivors to bring in children, to have memorials for people who didn't win their battles, to have previous leaders in the organizations come out and talk about their stories and celebrate. And it's all a sea of lavender, and it's a lot of hope, positivity, and all around support for this organization. I do want to remind everyone that Hockey Fights Cancer was founded in 1998 by the NHL and the NHLPA for the first national cause program pioneered by a major sport league. The Hockey Fight Cancer Initiative is powered by the V Foundation, presented by AstraZeneca, and it has raised more than $44 million since its inception. Now, teams are going above and beyond the Hockey Fight Cancer kind of umbrella to do more fundraising. We have people like Alex Ovechkin, who is doing the Great 8 Chase. He is personally donating and still is continuing to donate every certain dollar amount for every single goal he gets. And all of the money raised by the Alex Ovechkin Great 8 Chase is going to pediatric cancer research. So it is going to cancer, but it is going to specifically pediatric, which I think is absolutely phenomenal. And it's a great way to become more of a well-rounded organization. I do want to point out that if you go to shop.nhl.com and look at all of the Hockey Fight Cancer merchandise that they have, a majority of it is on clearance right now. So go get stuff for a good price. I will say I did pick up, when I was in Las Vegas last month, a Hockey Fight Cancer Vegas Golden Knights puck and a I Fight for Hockey Fight Cancer puck. These are really cool. They're kind of a really cool little keepsake that I get to bring back from Vegas. I didn't think I'd get to bring it on the airplane, but apparently hockey pucks are safe enough to go on an airplane. But yeah,
As long
go
as you're
check
not
out the
taking a
merch of your.
slap shot, you're good.
That's what I'm saying, right? So go check out the merch of your favorite team. I know I was checking out some of the Toronto Maple Leaf stuff, and I mean jerseys for less than $100, hats for $20. The pucks are on sale. The stuff is on sale. Go donate. Go check it out. Go support. It's a fantastic cause. I'm glad that we still have a little bit left of it for the 2025-2026 season. It's crazy that it's already almost come to an end.
Yeah, I mean it's such an incredible campaign, and there's so many stories. Every team has been putting out stories that are meaningful to either the players or their coaches. Unfortunately, cancer is one of those things that touches damn near everybody. I can't think of a single person in my life that doesn't have some story of a relative or friend or something, someone that they know that was battling cancer. Um, so it is just something that I think we can all connect as a community on, and I love to see all the teams and how they all celebrate every person in their lives who have unfortunately had to battle cancer, who may have lost their battle to cancer. It's really, really special.
Absolutely. Love it.
No. Well, we had some major fucking news. I know last week we talked about, we have our roster freeze on the 19th. Do we foresee any major trades happening then? Or do we think that it's after the break, but after the Christmas
Yeah, we were all like,
holiday
"Oh,
or
wait till after
before the
Christmas. We'll
Olympic?
get the January before
Yeah.
the Olympics."
We were like,
no.
nothing will happen. Nothing. We're wrong. We are liars and we are wrong. And we are publicly owning our shame right here, right now, because I think every single one of us is like, nothing major is going to happen ahead of the roster freeze. However, the Canucks may have waved that white flag and made a massive trade. Danger, will you please tell us who they traded for and what they got in return?
Buckle up, because as the resident Minnesota Wild fan here, bleed red and green and all that jazz. I was sad to see Rossi go, but I am overwhelmingly excited. But it's not about my opinions and my thoughts.
Not yet. At least tell us what happened first, and then we'll get into the thoughts.
So buckle up for it, because we got the blockbuster trade to break down. Quinn Hughes, who is the captain of the Vancouver Canucks and last season's Norris Trophy winner, is now a member of the Minnesota Wild. Right? One of the league's elite defensemen has swapped to the Pacific Northwest for the state of hockey. Here's how it went down. Vancouver sent Hughes to Minnesota in exchange for Marco Rossi, Liam Ogren, and top defensive prospect Zeev, and I'm sorry, Buam?
I think it's Boyum. I don't know.
it's Boyum.
There's too
Yeah.
many vowels in a row.
Yeah, and a 2026 first round pick. For the Canucks, this is a major retooling move, loading up on young talent. Rossi is amazing. I mean, he did great things for the Wild. But loading up on young talent and draft capital for the Wild, this is franchise-defining addition.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk about Hughes himself. At just 26, he has already rewritten Vancouver's record books with the most points ever by a defenseman, with 432 in 459 games. Last season, he put up a jaw-dropping 92 points and took home the Norris Trophy, as I mentioned. He's also locked in with Minnesota through 2027 and on a 6-year deal. So Minnesota isn't just renting him, they're building around him. Hughes wasted no time making an impact. In his Wild debut, he logged nearly 27 minutes of ice time, fired 3 shots, and scored a goal in front of a sold-out crowd at, and I'm still getting used to saying this, Grand Casino Arena. Coach John Hines praised his puck-moving ability, saying Hughes immediately creating scoring chances and elevated the team's play. GM Bill Guerin summed it up perfectly, stating, why? Well, because it's Quinn Hughes. You don't just get that opportunity often. Minnesota now boasts a big 3 with Hughes, Kirill Kaprizov, and Matt Boldy, with strong goaltending behind them. We'll get to that. But that's a scary lineup for everybody else as we head into this playoff push. On the flip side, Vancouver fans do have to say goodbye to their captain, but they are welcoming a promising trio. Rossi is already a proven NHL forward. Ogren is developing into a solid piece, and Buem just won an NCAA championship with Denver. At that end, with that first round pick, and the Canucks are clearly building for the future. Bottom line, this trade shakes up a lot in the NHL landscape. Minnesota gets a superstar defenseman to anchor their roster, while Vancouver bets on youth and long-term growth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, what's the one thing over the past couple years we've been saying that has really been the Achilles heel of the Minnesota Wild? The inconsistency in net, which Jesper Wallstedt has fixed any of those fucking inconsistencies.
Right.
And
Gus,
the lack
I
of
love
defense
Gus.
that has hurt you guys.
Yeah.
You now have your top defensive line. You're putting Quinn Hughes with a young Brock Faber, who's already doing great things. You guys have the talent on defense. The problem is there's no offensive output, and Quinn Hughes is giving you every bit of offensive output that you guys are going to need. He's got 21 assists already.
Which is absolutely insane.
Yeah.
Like, he is just an unparalleled defenseman in the league, let alone on Minnesota's team. Goaltending has been a little shaky. Gus Bus had started off really good, got shaky, which has kind of been the norm for him, unfortunately. But having Wallstedt come up and be there to sub in, I mean, they call him the Wall for a reason. And
He's
not
got a goals against average under 2 right now, which is Maul and I have talked about it a couple times. That's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, we just beat Boston 6-2.
Yeah.
We beat Colorado. We beat Dallas recently. I know we lost to somebody like last week or the week before, but losses are going to happen. What's important here is that the Wild are winning more games in a row, because then, obviously that helps the mentality of the team. But I'm really excited to see what Hughes can do with that Wild jersey on, because he already, I was a little bit nervous. He hadn't ever really played with anybody else on the team unless it was for like Team USA stuff, where Faber played, and a couple other guys had played for Team USA. I don't know. I wasn't able to really, it was a crazy day at work today, so I wasn't able to really look into it too much to find out who all he actually had played with, but he seems to be fitting in really, really well. I will say, after I found out about the trade, I think that day, the
You were
Wild
not pleased.
the short. I wasn't, because I was shocked to see Rossi go. I mean, we've put a lot of time into Rossi the last 4 or 5 years, with him coming up from Iowa and then being a part of the main roster. But I did see the short of them, they're doing the hat this season. And Rossi was giving the hat, I think, to I can't remember now. But anyway, it made me sad because Rossi at that point was already packing his bags.
Yeah.
I'm like, of course it just had to be him to give the hat away, But I think it's a good trade for everybody involved.
Right.
Normally, I'm very upset to see 3 players and a draft pick go for one other player. But when it's somebody like Hughes, you can't really be mad at it.
Yeah. That's the big thing, right?
I was a little bit apprehensive to see how he'd fit in, because sometimes the Wild, they're very welcoming and they're a great group of guys, but sometimes that can be very intimidating to come into, as the new guy. But it's no secret that Hughes wasn't super happy in Vancouver, with Vancouver being a losing team.
Although, can I just say that I have loved all of the memes that have come out of his move to the Wild, because they're like, there's that Quinn Hughes smile we know and love, and it's just him on the bench going. Because sometimes you cannot tell if that man is happy or sad or feeling any emotion whatsoever.
It's that scene
because he just
in
with the
Man
Wild
of the House or whatever, Tommy Lee Jones. This is my happy face.
Yeah, 100%. That's Quinn Hughes.
But I think he's enjoying himself being that he's doing so well out on the ice and, seems to be having fun with the other guys.
And we've
as
talked
well,
about
so.
Vancouver over the past couple of years, right? Like
Yeah.
with the coaching issues with obviously Elias Pettersson, JT Miller, that
Mhm.
trade, Brock Besser not exactly being happy either. And the biggest thing here was when you look at what Minnesota had to give up, it's like you said it perfectly, Danger. With someone his level, in my opinion, he is the second best defenseman in the league behind Cale
Mhm.
Makar. You almost have to give up prospects and big prospects. That 2026 first rounder, as hard as it is to give up a recent, like a relatively soon first round pick, you guys will be okay without that because of, like you said, the talent you guys have in Iowa that you're just bringing. You guys have fucking prospects for days at this point that you could make a trade like this happen to build and get the pieces you need to make that team successful. And
Right.
giving up a first rounder sucks, but when you sometimes it works out for the
I
best.
would rather do that than have lost a fourth, lineman, now.
Mhm.
Somebody that consistently plays already.
Right.
But yeah, I'm really excited to see what he can do. We know not Hughes, Haynes loves to switch the lines quite a bit. So I'm really excited to see how Hughes meshes with different lines and different teams of guys. I know Kirill and Zuki haven't quite been as frequently on the same line this season, which is super sad for all of us peanut butter and jelly fans out there. But and I think that Quinn also will have the ability, he's old and mature enough to really help some of the younger guys in teaching them and giving them the confidence as defensemen in going into the offensive side.
Yeah.
And how important that is even as a defenseman.
The
So
locker room.
Yeah,
I'm super excited. It took me a minute to let it sink in because I love Rossi, man. Like Rossi was like seeing Duhaime go. And if I had to see Duhaime go, I was happy he at least ended up in Washington. Like I was sad. I've mourned. I'm okay with it. And I'm excited now for the future. It's like a bad breakup. You weren't
a
ready.
little bit, yeah.
It'd be like traded Zuki. If they traded Zuki, I'd be freaking a wreck for probably the rest of the season.
Yeah, I feel that. Yeah, we all get attached to our favorite players.
Oh,
Although, if you listen to which Kachuk brother was it? We shouldn't call them by their nicknames because that's just ill. When girls call them players by their names, so I guess you can't call him Zuki anymore because that's just gross. Just as a heads up.
Fucking Kachuk
I
brothers.
didn't missed that.
Oh yeah, no, they said it on their podcast. They're like, it's just so gross when girls call us, but and they had to like walk it back. And then we meant people in general. And it's like, no, but you said girls.
You said
Girls explicitly.
But the guys call him Zuki too. So like,
Yeah.
but and also, I don't give a fuck what the Tkachuk brothers think. They're assholes.
They are assholes. And they admit to being assholes.
I'm not a fan of either Tkachuk brother, except for when they fight each other on the ice. That shit's hilarious.
I'm only a fan when they play for the U.S. in international. Other than that, I can't fucking stand either of them.
I do love their grandmother. Her the Hall of Fame a couple years ago.
Oh, for their dad.
They
would keep that in.
Yeah. Where they went up to her and they were like, so this was you as the boys were out on the ice fighting. Could you tell us what was going through your mind?
Yeah.
So,
but
I love Granny, but yeah. No,
the brothers can but just thought that was funny. I don't know what we would end up calling these players their full legal names. Like that's not
Yeah. What's your middle name then? Would you like us to give, and especially you European players with the 4 names.
Yeah.
And also, for the Wild, at least, I really don't think they care because
literally nobody but the Tkachuk brothers care.
Give a shit. Yeah, that's really what it is.
That's what they think. So
yeah. Anyway, that was not the only massive trade, though, that happened because we just did get some other information about, well, not just, but it also happened around the same time. Chris, what was the other trade that we had hit the wire?
Well,
Good
the
with that.
Edmonton Oilers and Pittsburgh Penguins decided their goaltending situation wasn't good, so they were going to make a swap. The Edmonton Oilers sent goaltender Stuart Skinner, defenseman Brett Kulak, and a second-round pick in 2029 to the Pittsburgh Penguins for Tristan Jarry and what was the other player? Why is it not giving me the other player? Another player was sent over.
I don't know. I don't have your.
What's his name? What's his name? Where is it? Where is it?
First woman in the
Someone
NHL is Chris's mom.
This trade comes with both goaltenders having a bit of a rough start to the season. This is a good way, in my opinion. I think this trade works out well. Pittsburgh's biggest problem is inconsistency in goaltending and lack of good defense, because fuck do they give up a lot of goals. You're getting a good piece in Brett Kulak to help, and I think, like I was telling my dad, we were talking about it yesterday. I think the thing with Stuart Skinner, there's a lot of pressure in Edmonton, and we've talked about the pressure in Edmonton. We've talked about the issues in Edmonton. I think this is a good change of scenery that could help him. I think it's a good change of scenery that can help Tristan Jarry. Obviously, only time will tell. On Friday, I believe they play each other. But, I like Skinner. I think he's a great goalie. But sometimes you got to make a change in net. And when it's not working, it's not working. And, I mean, look at Edmonton is notorious in the past 5 years for shitty starts. And the Penguins are a playoff team for the first time in 4 seasons.
Yeah.
I don't hate this trade. I don't know about you guys.
I don't really give a shit about it, if I'm honest. It feels to me like they're swapping the same people. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
Tristan Jarry was at the top of his game, and then he went to Pittsburgh and fell off a fucking cliff. Stuart Skinner has fallen off that cliff a time or two himself. I hope that maybe it's just an atmosphere change that's needed for both of them, and we can see them both rise back to the level of play that they can be at and be consistent at. But I just don't give a shit.
It's fair.
Gonna be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah. But thank you for the update, because that is the only other massive trade that happened was the trade for Jarry and Sam Poulin.
Thank you,
the other guy.
Sam Poulin.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I couldn't find it in the article I had, and I was like, really? It gives me everything but the fucking forward that Pittsburgh
But the
traded?
last one.
Yeah.
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 It's depth pieces. You move some depth pieces to get another depth defenseman, which they need.
Which they need, yeah.
And again, I bet you Kyle
yeah.
Dubas is sitting back going, fuck, I should have never traded for Erik Karlsson.
Well, you got what you got, buddy. You know?
Suck. Yeah.
Got what you got. Maul, it is time for your segment. What is the offside opinion you will be sharing with us this week?
So it kind of goes in line with the trades, especially, the one with the Quinn Hughes, just that's such a big topic, right? Now, my question is,
Pulich.
with the trade, was it enough to get the Canucks out of the basement, or do we see them follow suit what other teams have done historically, most recently, notably the Ducks, where they hung out down there for a little bit as they went through a rebuild, and then once the season, the team kind of found itself, they've kind of become dangerous because the Ducks are destroying it this year.
Yeah.
Now, I do want to point out, the Canucks right now are literally, as of right now, this moment, the bottom team
Mhm.
with a goal deficit of negative 23. At
They suck.
27 points. They're the only team in the NHL right now that has not broken the 30-point mark. Right?
Yeah.
What do you guys think?
This was in no way enough. As great as Rossi is, I don't think that even with the three, with Ogren and Boyum, Byam, fucking send us an email with your name, please. Even with that guy, yeah, even with them, I think the three of them isn't enough. I I think that the Canucks are similar to our conversation about the Sabres. They are facing a much larger cultural problem with the team. I mean, Quinn Hughes is a fantastic player. I think that he is someone that does inspire confidence in his teammates, but it just wasn't enough. Even with him as captain, even with him, blood, sweat, and tears out there every night, it wasn't enough. And I don't see how Rossi is going to be any different in that regard. I think that they need a larger cultural shift before we're going to see them really be dangerous. But I will say they're absolutely waving the white flag, but there's nothing to stop them from being the next Ducks, who go from literal basement team to, top 5 teams in the league in just a matter of a couple of years.
As the Ducks are losing 3-1 right now to the Blue Jackets.
Chris, it's not always about that. Sometimes it's about the heart of the matter, right?
The heart of the cards.
Spiritually, they are winners right now.
Heart of the cards.
Heart of the cards.
So the Canucks are literally, like I said, 27 points. They are, the Avalanche are almost double their points right now. They're 1 point away from doubling their points.
Mm-hmm.
I do think, this kind of was like another little bonus question, but at what point? We're almost halfway through the season. We're coming up, right?
Mm-hmm.
At what point do those
9
bottom
games.
10 teams just say, hey, let's
Race to the bottom?
Yeah, I guess, or focus on trades to try to see what we can do to get ourselves set up for next season. When do they give up?
And you think about this. 2 years ago, the Vancouver Canucks were in play for the President's Trophy. Brock Besser had 73 points. Last year, he had a significant drop-off. This year, he's easily that team's leading scorer, 16 points. Elias Pettersson has 22 points. He's the only player above 20 points. You've got 4 goaltenders that have played. None of them have a goals against average lower than 2.67. There is so many issues there.
Yeah.
So many problems. And like Dee said, it's a huge culture problem that we've been talking about for 2 seasons now.
At least, yeah.
You want to talk about a team that has fallen from grace? This team has not only fallen from grace, they have been shot out of a fucking cannon from the top to the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a very fast decline. You've got so much talent on this team. Philip Hronik, Jake DeBrusk, Evander Kane when he's not doing stupid ass shit. Kiefer Sherwood, Connor Garland, Elias Pettersson. You've got all of these players that have immense talent.
Yeah.
But you're not doing anything. And no matter how many coaches you change, I think there's such a deeper issue here.
But
and
that's the thing, though, is I agree with you, but I don't think that this issue is exclusive to the Canucks.
Correct.
We're seeing it with the Blues, the Predators, the Flames, and the Canucks.
The Rangers are also having a massive culture issue and have for the past few years.
Yeah. But those 4 teams are all below a 0.5 for goals against average.
Yeah.
Right now, the St. Louis Blues they're leading the league in goal deficit at -37.
That's crazy.
That's disgusting.
Your starting goaltender in Kevin Lankinen has a save percentage of .878. A 3.5 goals against average. He's 4-10-3 in net.
I'm going to be real honest with specifically the St. Louis Blues on how bad they're doing. I am so nervous that Bennington is going to represent Canada again.
Yeah.
I'm not happy about that.
Bennington!
I'm not happy about. Granted,
I could think of so many other Canadian goaltenders that should represent instead of Jordan Binnington.
Exactly. How bad St. Louis is doing right now with him as their starting goalie. And they're like, you know what? You should come to Canada. You should come to Canada. Represent us in the Olympics. Please don't. Retire.
I think the addition of this first round pick that they got from Minnesota is going to help them build toward the future.
Mhm.
The problem
It's
is
not
what is that future going to look like for the team if we continue to hemorrhage our top players and our leaders?
Yeah.
What future are we going to have if we can't have anyone? If I'm
Yeah.
front office, it's like, who's next to go? Pedersen?
Mhm.
Besser? Like,
Which there were rumors about both of those for a little bit there last season, weren't
well,
there?
everything with JT Miller and Elias Pedersen. Yeah, Besser wasn't
Mhm.
happy.
Mhm.
So, but here's the thing. Right now, the Canucks have played, as of time of recording, 32 of the 82 games this season. If they win, I mean, we've seen crazier comebacks. This could be the
for
special
sure.
sauce,
St.
you know?
Louis.
I do want to play devil's advocate with that. Like, we could see them come back. There is still time. Now, they're not going to get to the level the Colorado Avalanche are, but
yeah.
wild card. They're not that far from a wild card.
But it's like you guys
Yeah,
brought up, the Ducks, they are proof that rebuilds do work. If the right environment with these young talent, though you bring in the right veteran presence, you bring in the right coaching staff that will actually encourage these kids, encourage the team.
Yeah.
The Ducks are the fruit of the labor of it's okay to be shit sometimes.
Yeah.
If you can get the pieces in the right place, magic can happen.
I mean, right now the Canucks are on a 1-game win streak, and they are 8 points behind a wild card spot, a guaranteed wild card spot. They just have to win 4 games to clutch that. That's not impossible when you still have 50 games left of the season. You need 4 to get a wild card.
Yeah.
So I hope that that's strategically how they're looking at this, of like, hey, bite-sized chunks, you know?
Yeah.
When you're facing the impossible, the easiest way to handle it is to break it down into bite-sized chunks. And again, we get, like, if I was the coach in the locker room, I'd be like, guys, we get 4 more wins and we're in a playoff spot, a wild card.
Right.
4 wins. Can you guys give me 4 wins? You know what I mean?
That's 4 wins. But that's not. We're not at a point where it's like 4 wins guarantees them a spot.
But it
We're not
gives
there
them
yet
to
because
the
everybody else
point-
would have to lose.
Right,
But
but
we do get to a point, yeah.
Right, it would get them to a point where they're like, hey, 4 wins. Now we're on a 5-game win streak. Our confidence is going up. Our cohesive, our collective morale has gone up. We're within range where the possible is now possible. Like, let's buckle down, put our nose to the grindstone, and fucking make something happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I
can
hope
do
it
it.
is. I hope it is. But as we've seen, a culture change needs to be a little bit more intentional. And this bus was driven by Guerin in Minnesota. You know what I mean? This was not driven by the Canucks being like, these are the key components we need in order to get a veteran presence, in order to do XYZ. This was driven by Minnesota. And Quinn even said that. He was like, they came out of the gate with a strong offer because I wanted to make sure that, you know, what was gotten in return for me was good. And I liked what they were willing to give up. So Guerin drove this.
Yeah.
And so whether or not that's going to mesh with the Canucks and their infrastructure and their everything remains to be seen. And I'm just not hopeful based on the fact that they haven't really taken any accountability for the choices that got them to this point in the first place.
Yeah.
And that is like step numero uno. Is you got to take some accountability. You got to say, we fucked up. We've, made some poor choices. Let's all work together. Let's get us back on track. And I just don't see that happening this year. I would love for it to. I would love a comeback story. We all love that story.
Yep.
But
Go Team Canada. Come on. Something in the water, and Canada's playing like shit this year again.
well, as we're speaking
All
of
across the board.
countries, we should mention that literally just now, the first ever German-born player to hit 1,000 points, Leon Draisaitl, has now just hit that 1,000-point threshold. So big congratulations to Draisaitl. This is a major milestone, and we love to see it, especially for nations that aren't typically associated with hockey. Like, nobody goes, oh God, who's so fucking good at hockey?
Germans.
Those damn
I can name
Germans.
7 German players off the top of my head.
You know what I mean?
I can name
that's,
like 2.
that's not what
3.
it is.
Yeah.
But now, if you see a German player hit 1,000 fucking points, that's going to inspire a lot of German kids to pick up a hockey stick, and that's
who
incredible.
better than a class act like Leon Draisaitl? The guy's
Right.
great dude, amazing hockey player. D said it perfectly. Congrats, man. That's fucking awesome.
Easy.
Dude, so as of right now, he is the 103rd player to reach the mark and the 5th player in franchise history to get 1,000 points in an Oiler jersey.
Nice.
He is the 22nd fastest player in NHL history to accomplish the feat, 2 games behind Messier.
I was gonna say,
Did it-
let me see if I can name all 5 players.
Oh, sorry. Okay, yeah, no, go ahead. You want to
Okay.
name 5 players? Go ahead. I got it. I got them right here.
Leon Draisaitl, Connor McDavid,
Yep.
Yari Curry,
Yep.
Mark Messier,
Yep.
Wayne Gretzky.
Yeah, buddy.
Damn.
But you didn't get the order right. You were close. It's Wayne Gretzky, Connor McDavid, Yari
Right,
Curry,
yeah.
Mark Messier, and then, of course, Leon Draisaitl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, hold on, who?
Incredible.
Oh, wait, they had 3 of the best players ever in the fucking 80s.
Yeah.
David also had a hell of a goal.
And even with that, they've remained cupless.
They've remained
Yeah.
cupless since the 90s.
Yeah.
But we talked
Ugh.
about it. This is the year. If they don't do it, he's fucking walking from this team.
Both him and Leon, I think, are
both,
gone.
yeah.
I
Yeah, McDavid and Draisaitl.
Wild will welcome them.
Do you know what?
It's like, no, we need
Do
Go
we
to
see-
Florida. Go to Florida.
But do we
Florida.
seek some kind of a package deal? Is this the thing? Do they get traded together as brothers? You
Think
know,
about-
there is no
Dude.
Ovi without Backy kind of a vibe.
But
If-
think about what is going to have to be given up.
If the Oilers
Yeah.
let them both
Half a
walk
fucking
together, their
Yes.
organization will collapse.
Yeah.
It will be a oil drum
they're
in a
going
vacuum
to.
and just suck into itself.
You're
No
getting
matter-
at least
no
4
matter
first
if-
rounders. At least
No
4
matter
first rounders.
if they go together, they are going at the same time.
Yeah.
There is
Yeah.
no way
Yeah.
that McDavid doesn't get treated first and Leon isn't right behind him, second out
Yeah.
that fucking door.
No,
You know what I
big-
mean?
big
So no
facts.
matter what, the org is going to lose them. So
Yeah.
do you try and tie them together and get some kind of a blockbuster fucking deal? I would. I would absolutely pitch them as the dream team to any other team that is willing to give me oodles and oodles. You know what I mean?
Who likes to trade away draft picks?
Honestly, I hate to say
Right.
it. Do what Marchand did. Go to warmer climate. You'll be happier there. Go where it's warm and you can walk to practice in fucking sandals and a golf cart. Fuck
Suck,
Boston.
man.
Don't go to Florida.
Don't
Go to
Flo-
Texas.
At least
Don't
not
go
to
to
the
Florida.
Panthers, please.
Go to Texas.
I was about to say there are no teams in Texas, and then I remember that there is.
Yeah, don't tell Danger to see those teams
I
to
just
go to
annexed
fucking
them.
Texas. Danger don't want to see them in
No.
Dallas.
Yeah.
Fuck Dallas.
Hey.
Fuck the Penguins. Fuck the Panthers.
Hey,
Just-
pretty
just
soon
the-
they may be able to go back to Georgia. Oh.
Yeah, because that hasn't worked.
On that note, let's talk about other hopes and dreams that have been crushed, Mala. That's a perfect segue. Danger, can you tell us about our Hurdy Boys and our Naughty Boys?
More hopes and dreams that have been crushed. I like that. Oh yeah, I am missing half of this whole segment here. Because I'm an intelligent person, and
I don't think that we
definitely
have any
some
Hurdy
intelligent-
Boys. Or I mean Naughty Boys. We have Hurdy Boys. We always
Okay.
have Hurdy Boys.
Always have Hurdy Boys, but Hurdy Boys. Nobody. Speaking of Anaheim, nobody currently hurt for Anaheim. At least not new injuries.
So we have
Um,
injuries, but nothing new.
You have nobody
Yeah,
new.
but
Yeah.
nothing new. Nothing new. Nothing on my list new as of 4 p.m. today from last week. Okay,
Mhm.
that's the standard of what's going on. Okay, so Boston, we have Victor Arvidsson, body injury expected to be out until at least December 18th. So that's a couple of days. Jonathan Aspert, upper body on IR. He is expected to be out until at least the 20th. For Buffalo, we have Colton Ellis out with a concussion on IR, expected to be out until at least the 20th. For Chicago, we have Artem Levshun. Holy shit.
Levshunov.
Levshunov. Coach's decision. Drama, maybe. Expected to be out until at least December 18th. I don't know. I'm just speculating. What sucks for Chicago, Connor Bedard's out with an upper body injury on IR for the rest of the month. It sucks to suck.
I think he broke his
Levshunov
wrist
was
or
late to
sprained his
practice,
wrist.
by the way.
Oh, he was late to practice, so he got sat. Okay.
Yeah.
And they probably don't play tomorrow.
Just like Mika Zibanejad was a healthy scratch because he was late to the team meeting.
Yeah. And Love Chenab, I think, is a newer player.
Second
yeah,
year
the
first or second year.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's not a name I've heard thrown around a lot. Also still out for Chicago is Nick Foligno, the one player on Chicago I can say I kind of like because I like his brother. He's out with that hand injury on IR. Could be back as soon as the 18th, though. For Colorado, we have Logan O'Connor out with a hip injury on IR, expected to be out until at least December 27th. For Columbus, we have Luca Morelli. What a great name. That's just a fun one to say. He, unfortunately, is out with a shoulder injury on IR, expected to be out until at least January 4th. No new injuries for Dallas. I wish there were. Somebody go punch somebody. I don't know. For Detroit, we have Patrick Kane. Shocking, who's out with an upper body injury, expected to be out until at least December 20th. And Shai Bunham, I wonder if he's related to the one that just got traded.
Yeah, I think so.
Because it's the same last name spelling.
I think they're brother cousins. I don't know.
Brother cousins, sister wives.
One of the other
undisclosed injury for Shai on IR, expected to be out until at least January 1st. For Edmonton, we have Jack Roslovic. There we go. Undisclosed on IR, expected to be out until at least December 23rd. For Florida, my least favorite person to talk about, Matthew Tkachuk, is out with a groin injury. Poor baby. On IR, expected to be out until at least December 30th. And Gustav Forsling, undisclosed, he is day-to-day. For Los Angeles, we have Philip Donalt with an illness, day-to-day. And Quentin Byfield, also with an illness, listed as day-to-day. We know what bus they were on. Also, Darcy Kemper, former Wild player, he is out with an upper body injury on IR, expected to be out until at least December 27th. So, love and quick healing to Darcy, because may not like the rest of LA. For my boys in Minnesota, we have Vinay Hinostroza. I think that's right. It's close enough. Lower body on IR, expected to be out until at least December 20th. Zach Bogosian, lower body, expected to be out until at least December 18th. Marcus Johansson, who was the receiver of the hat, seeing his name reminded me. For anybody that was wondering. Lower body, expected to be out until at least December 18th. And Jonas Brodin, who's unfortunately very injury prone the last few years. Lower body, also only expected to be out until December 18th. So hopefully it's nothing major. For Montreal, we have Mike Matheson, upper body, expected to be out until at least December 18th. For Nashville, we have Cole Smith, upper body on IR, expected to be out until at least December 17th. For New Jersey, we have Artseny Gritsiuk, upper body, expected to be out until at least December 21st. Close enough. Brett Pesce, upper body on IR, expected to be out until at least December 17th. Simon Nemec, lower body on IR, expected to be out until at least December 30th. I had a really bad joke that popped into my head. That's why I giggled to myself. Yevgeny Dadnov with a wrist injury. That's not how you say it. I know my tongue won't work. But he is also on IR, expected to be out until at least January 3rd. And Timo Meier, personal issues on IR, expected to be out until at least December 17th. For the Islanders, we have Bo Horvat, lower body, expected to be out until at least December 19th. And Matthew Barzal, undisclosed, listed as day-to-day. For the Rangers, we have Mika Zibanejad, who is also late.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Dee, for looking that up. Coach's decision, listed as day-to-day. No new injuries for Ottawa, Philadelphia, or Pittsburgh. For San Jose, we have Adam Gaudette, lower body, expected to be out until at least December 18th. Philip Kurashev, upper body on IR, expected to be out until at least December 31st. Michael Nisa, ankle injury on IR, expected to be out until at least January 10th. And apparently Will Smith has made a career change. Just kidding. A different Will Smith is undisclosed on IR, expected to be out until at least December 23rd. For Seattle, we have Vince Dunn with an illness listed as day-to-day. Capo Caco and Mason Marshment both also have illnesses and are day-to-day. And Jared McCann is out with a lower body injury on IR, expected to be out until at least January 2nd. I know what date it is, I promise. For St. Louis, we have Nick Bugstad, upper body on IR, expected to be out until at least December 20th. And Dylan Holloway, ankle injury on IR, expected to be out until at least January 27th. For Tampa Bay, we have Brandon Hagel, undisclosed, listed as day-to-day. Emil Martinson Lilleberg, undisclosed on IR, expected to be out until at least January 20th. And Victor Hedman with an elbow injury on IR. This one hurts Tampa Bay a bit, expected to be out until at least February 1st. For Toronto, yeah, that one hurts. Hopefully it's not a surgery situation. Sounds a little quick to be surgery, but we'll see. For Toronto, we have Matthias Machelli, illness listed as day-to-day. Christopher Tanev, the photo boy himself, upper body on IR, expected to be out until at least December 21st. Nope, that's the other Tanev brother, isn't it?
I think it's Brandon that has the crazy pictures.
Yeah, it's Brandon.
No.
I said that, and I was like, that's the wrong first name.
Wrong Tanev
Brandon
brother.
Carlo, also out for Toronto with a foot injury on IR, expected to be out until at least January 3rd. For Utah, we have Terrell Goldsmith, undisclosed on IR, expected to be out until at least December 29th. Nobody new for Vancouver. For Las Vegas, we have Pavel. Let's try that again. Pavel Doroveyev. Close enough. Undisclosed list is day-to-day. And lastly, nobody new for Washington or Winnipeg. Also,
We'd love to see it.
are on a power play right now. So congratulations.
We are. Thank you.
The fact that Winnipeg is still winning and they don't have Hellebuck right now is crazy.
Yeah. Someone ordered something from an Etsy witch to keep their luck going in his absence, I swear to
Fucking
God.
clearly.
Right.
Must be. Well, thank you very much, Danger, for our injury report. Chris, it is that time for you to introduce your segment.
It is time for the obscure NHL player of the week. Well, this week we have a player who we have talked about already in this podcast, Jarmo Kekalainen, who is currently the general manager of the Buffalo Sabres. Born July 3rd, 1966, in, I believe that's Tampere, Finland. He went undrafted in 1985, where he played 55 games in the NHL. Started his career in Finland, worked up for 2 years to play at Clarkson University in New York, where he spent 11 games with the Boston Bruins and 28 games to Ottawa Senators. In his 55 games, he had 5 goals, 8 assists, 28 penalty minutes. Had a nice little time in the AHL, most notably with a team that doesn't exist anymore, but did. Maul, you'll appreciate this, the Maine Mariners. 13 goals, 21 assists, 142 games in SM1, or what is now known as the Finnish Elite League Liga. 26 goals, 30 assists, 56 points together, 70 penalty minutes. Also represented Finland in the 1986 World Junior Championship, and in 1991 in the Canada Cup. Obviously, after retirement, he went into front office work, where we have spoken about earlier. He was the general manager of the Columbus Blue Jackets from 2013 to 2024. Now holds that same position in Buffalo. So, Jarmo Kekalainen, congratulations. You are now a member of the Obscure NHL Player of the Week Club.
Congratulations, Jarmo. All right, and that leaves us with our very last segment, which is, Chris, it's time for us to be told what the answer is. But first, shall you remind us of the question?
Yes. Only one time in NHL history has this happened. A player scored a full strength goal, even strength goal, a power play goal, shorthanded goal, penalty shot, and an open net goal in the same game. Who was it?
Danger has her tiny hand raised.
Danger?
My itty tiny hand. I think it was fuck.
Because I did give you guys
Mhm.
Give us the options again, because now I lost what I thought my
It
idea was. I
was-
want to be Gretzky, and I
It
know
was
it's
Wayne
not.
Gretzky,
Wayne
Mario
Gretzky,
Lemieux, Brett Hull.
Brett Hull, Steve Yzerman, Mario Lemieux.
I think it's Lemieux.
Okay.
I'm going Lemieux too.
Ball. You're muted.
Gretzky. I read Lipso. He said Gretzky.
Gretzky.
Gretzky. Well, on New Year's Eve in 1988 against the New Jersey Devils, Super Mario Lemieux scored 5 goals 5 different ways in one game, being the only player in NHL history to ever do that.
Now I'm going to be honest. I already knew the answer because that was a trivia during a Caps broadcast not too long ago. When Ovechkin got close to that record but did not beat it.
He got 4, right?
Yeah, he got 4.
Was he missing the
that is
penalty
why
shot?
I know the answer to that question. Huh?
Was he missing the penalty shot, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because
Yeah.
that's such a rare thing to get as a penalty shot.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's such a cool fucking stat to have, to be the only player to ever do that.
Ever
Yeah.
do it.
It's sick.
I remember when Gabrick got into 5 fights in one night.
I think that's a record too. I think Gabrick holds that record.
A record. Yeah. I want to say I was at that game. That or I know I watched it, but I think I was there.
But I figured you guys would appreciate a fun little stat today.
I absolutely appreciated that. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
All right. Well, if you didn't get the answer right down in the comments below, that's all right. There's always next week. Or you can go back and watch previous weeks and see if maybe you could get that answer right. Maybe there is some trivia you know. It just wasn't this week's trivia. Please be sure and like, comment, subscribe, whatever the term is for whatever platform you are watching this, listening to this, illegally pirating this from. Let us know. Tell us you follow us. Tell us you love us. We love being told that specifically and nothing else. Anyway, thank you all so much for being here this week, and we will catch you mother puckers in the face-off circle next week.